predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade. Come on, get up.
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3P on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before he's last. Dies, and Chicken Fried Rice 200 team with Swift Death does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. They call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still performing extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out simply, tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the game, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good death running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9 KHP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage, they want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The Deathlock comes too strong, but this switch is free firing in the backline. Good Death trying to stall time for his AD carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series, it seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts, because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade. Come on, get up.
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3P on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before he's last. Dies, and Chicken Fried Rice 200 team with Group Depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. And the call comes back in the circuit, flip finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for week 5 of Dominant Premade. Here we have today our DBZ Freak and Kyle, aka Kamika.
Good job.
Take it away, guys.
Well. Good afternoon. This is our first cast together, and I'm pretty excited about it. Are you?
I mean, why would I not be, dude? I've been casting with an awesome guy like you, as well as just being League of Legends in general. So, like, obviously, I'm excited about it, and we got a nice little patch coming in recently. So, yeah, what's not to like?
That's pretty fair. Okay. So, this is my second Dominant League casting, because normally I don't do this. Normally I'm on the Draft League. So, I'm learning about these teams that we're casting here today, and I was going through their op.ggs, and I saw some very fun and also meta slave picks, as we call. Come on, kids. Just because it's meta doesn't mean you have to pick it, and by that I mean you should probably pick it if you're trying to get elo. Anyways, so 2 teams today are DG and SDC. I completely forgot what the team names are, but that's okay. In the meantime, going through some of the champ pools, and they're pretty standard coming in, especially for the 80 carries. There's a lot of Misfortune, there's a lot of Jin, Sivir, things that we're seeing in Worlds right now. And I like to parallel Worlds during like these streams because it directly affects what happens in our games as well. Like
Right.
so much Misfortune and Sivir are being picked along with Kaisa, and Jin and Aphelios, and like those are like the priority 80 carry picks right now. And then we were just talking earlier in the top lane about Aatrox being like the main top lane pick, and a couple of these players do play it, and I'm expecting to see that. And we were excited about a potential Thresh for Khan pick coming in too on DG side, I believe it was, and that will be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, also, just to refresh your mind, the teams playing today are Team Fried Chicken versus Oblivion Esports. And they're both a 4-0 win team. So this is gonna be like Battle of the Titans. What do you guys think about that?
Well, under the screen it says Disperse Gaming and SDC Death Cards. I think that's on
Oh.
Risen 1, is it not?
Oh,
Yeah, I believe you're
sorry.
correct on
I
that.
think I looked at the incorrect information. One sec.
All
Sorry
good.
about
I got
that.
something I can talk about in the meantime. Is
Go
that
for it.
we were also talking about Worlds and stuff like that and possible picks. I'm also seeing that we got a player that likes to play Renata and a player that likes to play Maokai. And I
Mhm.
remember a very specific game in Worlds where they were going up against I don't remember what one of the team it was, but it was a really good team versus like a team that was like a little bit lower seed in the LCK. But the LCK team, they brought in Maokai and Renata, and it was just like these gigantic ults that make it just so difficult to avoid. It makes team
Yeah.
fighting them basically impossible. And I see that those are 2 characters that are liked by these teams, and so I would be not too shocked to see if that was an influence on this game.
Definitely. Yeah, Worlds is definitely a very interesting time for the League of Legends community because there's the patch that comes in that's known as the Worlds patch, and that pretty much like shapes what's going to happen for like the entirety of the game throughout the entirety of Worlds. Even though like we don't we update throughout Worlds, the pro players don't, so they keep playing those things, and then sometimes the community kind of lags behind in what's good and what's not. And it's very interesting to see. I've always wondered like why that is, but I get like people want to like get as much elo as they can before the season's over, which I believe is November 5th. Is it, or is it this November something? It ends in a month,
In like
so
30-ish days, yeah.
get your elo up if you want them rewards. Not me though. I'm gonna stay exactly where I am at unrated.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, so I did find out the correct teams that are playing today. It's SDC Death Cards versus DG. Oh gosh, what is the team name? It is
Disperse Gaming.
Disperse Gaming. Disperse
Mhm.
Gaming. There we go. Sorry about that.
All good. It's been a
No
long
problem.
week, and we're here at the weekend, and we're at the end of the weekend. So brains are kind of off. I mean,
Yeah.
Not the players though. Their brains won't be off. That's for sure. They'll definitely be getting into
Well, hopefully
into some
not.
gameplay. But, I mean,
Hopefully
if
not.
if they are, then that would be some pretty spicy League of Legends.
Mhm.
You know,
In the
after
meantime,
this, tomorrow
yeah.
I will be stuffing my face because it is Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow. So my
very
brain is
cool.
definitely a little mush. But yeah, I hope the players are ready to go, it seems.
I hope so too. I mean, I think for SDC wildcards, with them being 4-1, they're going to want to continue cementing their position in the rankings at the moment. And then Disperse Gaming, I think, is just going to try. I'm not sure how long the split is here for Dominant League, but I think they're just going to want to keep playing spoiler and like taking games off of these top teams, which generally that's what you want to do. And looking at like between the two teams and like the ranking disparities, I mean, it's not that big a deal. I would argue, and I think it's very possible for Disperse to come through with this if just through individual like gameplay, as it does with most League of Legends. But me not knowing like or not that's not fair, but like me like not being a part of this league is like I watch a little bit but not terribly too much. Bad casting, don't do that. If you are looking to be a future caster, watch all leagues because you'll know everything and you'll sound cool. I would assume like through individual gameplay, and what I'm seeing kind of like what these teams are playing in solo queue is I'm pretty confident that like Disperse can do some damage to this team.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's kind of interesting
wow.
considering their rankings.
They're at like a 1-3 right now, where SDC is at a 4-1. So it's gonna be interesting. Like I think this would be like this team would they be able to make it to playoffs?
This is why I'm not a betting man.
Yeah, I think let me do some quick statistics here for you, some quick mathematics, because well, it's all fun and good to tell whether or not they can get to playoffs like by being good, but can they mathematically make it to playoffs? I think the answer to that is still yes. They still have as long as they win like these next couple of games, so which puts extra emphasis on winning this game, because if they don't, then they are mathematically out of playoffs, because if there are like 8 teams in the group, and so therefore if they do not get at least 4 wins, they don't go 4-3, then they won't be able to make it into playoffs. So this is an important game for them.
Okay. All right, I stand by what I said. Do some damage, make the
There's some
playoffs.
caster math for you. There's some caster math.
Kyle, I wanted to just extend that appreciation for doing those mathematics because that's very important for the gameplay and stuff like that. So yeah, thank
I
you.
know. League of Legends has made me actually very good at math. I always have to know, am I actually going to be able to kill this guy, or am I just going to get one shot in the process? It's a good way of not getting debated in solo queue.
So yeah, DG. I think they understand that this is a very important game based on those numbers that you just gave us. So they're really gonna want to like meld together and like pick like the best things that's comfort for them to be able to English just escaped my mind, but be able to definitely like overtake SDC here. Now you can look at the ranks and be like, no, it's not gonna happen, and they might get gapped. But I've seen some crazy things happen in these leagues, and it's really gonna come down to draft naturally. Because I really hope that like they go through and like draft some like really like important power picks for each lane. Personally, I mean mid lane you have some leeway.
So any picks you'd like to see for these games coming up today?
Rakan, we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. I came in the call and that's the first word I heard was Rakan.
Yeah. And as for me, I really want to see the Renata and the Maokai. As I said, it was so good in the Worlds, and I would love to see that again.
Oh yeah, what Maokai and Aatrox?
Renata.
Do you think? Oh, sorry, Renata. But yeah, Maokai's been like a really important pick right now.
Absolutely.
Quite annoying. So
Okay.
anyway,
I
awesome.
think, let's do
Yeah.
this.
So thank you for staying tuned, and we're gonna take it to draft. So thank you so much, guys. See you then.
All right. Well, this has been a very quick draft. It seems like everybody knows exactly what they want already. So for the side of DG, they've already banned Silas, Set, and Akali, and on the SDC side, they've banned Maokai, Sad, and Kog'Maw as well.
And Renata just now.
Renata.
Okay. Okay, and that's pretty interesting. So we don't get the Maokai Renata combo. We do get the Seraphine first pick lock-in, so this could go either one of three places, either in the mid lane, the bot lane, or the support role. It's most likely going to be in the AD carry lane. I mean, I don't know why, now I'm thinking about it, when Misfortune's open, but I think it might be support. Seraphine's pretty annoying with her sustain, so it looks like DG's going to be playing for the long con, you know, like sustaining through these fights and whatnot. We're going to have to see what the answer is from SDC. Yeah, okay, not surprised with the Hecarim.
Like
Hecarim is absurd right now, and Kaisa is the other answer. Okay, two really good picks right off the bat. Would you agree?
I absolutely agree. Kaisa pretty much goes along good with any of the major like tank supports right now. You could go with a Nautilus. You could go with a Leona if you really want to. You could go even with like, I don't know, really pretty much anybody else. So like, yeah, I think that Kaisa puts a lot of pressure on them, and they feel pressured enough to take the ADC. And there's the Atriox you were talking about.
There it is. Okay, I was saying in order to pretty much. Okay, hold on, pause. They just insta-locked in the Mordekaiser in response, which I can see that as a really good answer to the Aatrox. The W shield for the sustain, and you can also build Bramble Vest to cut some of his healing. Wow, and you could solo out any of the squishies in like any of the fights, which I'm expecting to see that like at any point when there's a full-on 5v5. But wow, they're just coming through real quick with these picks and bans here. We got the Wukong ban coming in for SDC first, and the answer might be the Ahri. They're hovering it at the moment. Okay,
yeah,
so
seems like
the Ahri ban. Okay.
seems like both these teams just really knew what they wanted going in, and they're not making any like changes based on what they see in the moment. They're just being like, all right. We know what we're gonna do. We're just gonna pick, ban, and we'll make it nice and quick like that. And so, for this final ban, it appears that DG do not quite have their mid laner yet. So I would expect some, or they might be putting Seraphine mid with that pick actually.
Yeah, and I was wondering about the Alistair ban coming through. Maybe it's a bait ban, or they're assuming Seraphine's going mid. Not really entirely sure. I mean, we're not even sure either with it being a triple flex pick. But the Yone ban hover, I'm not entirely sure I agree with. I'm pretty sure SDC plays Yasuo instead of Yone, so maybe they're just like, I shouldn't be trying to avoid like just getting absolutely busted and blown up.
Maybe they don't want to get like counterpicked there at the end or something like that. Yone could be like someone that goes very well against someone that they would be picking, and so maybe they're trying to get rid of that possibility.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. So we are here now to the second phase of picks, and it's either do you pick for your mid laner, or do you pick the support? Like, what's the game plan for SDC? They're probably gonna go for the counter pick on top because they already know, or they're gonna lock in the Rel.
Great pick.
Okay.
That's actually a pretty good pick.
So, I mean, they already did the top lane pick, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. And I like the Trundle hover here, especially to get through some of those tank steps that the Rel, the Mordekaiser, and the Hecarim will... Maybe Hecarim. I've been seeing more, like, raw damage Hecarim builds recently, so it's probably possible that it'll be just really Mordekaiser and Rel. It'll be the primary focus for the Trundle pick here. Unless they're going to swap it last second, which is possible. No?
I don't know. I feel like Trundle would be a good pick here, and yeah, they seem to think that as well, so they're going to be locking right on it. And the last thing that's coming in here is going to be the mid pick, so yeah, honestly, they could go with a lot of different things here. I know we mentioned a Vex, I know we mentioned a Zed in our pre-games that we have a lot of people that... No?
No, I was saying yep,
Oh, yeah, okay, whoops. And
Sorry.
yeah. And also, SDC, I'm pretty sure you said that they have a Katarina one-trick on their team, so we might be seeing that coming out as well. Just knew what they wanted right from the start, and so they're going to be going along with that. Cassiopeia is going to be an interesting thing to deal with for that. She's really... yeah. I don't know how Cassiopeia is going to be doing very early on up against this Zed, but the longer the game goes on, obviously, it's going to be more and more in her favor.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of like the Cass pick. They also needed some more DPS damage coming in, and Cassiopeia can definitely provide that. Now, we just have to assume that she'll be able to survive in lane prior to, because Zed can be really annoying with the poke early game. She has the range advantage, yes, but just him not having mana is just pretty much solidifies that he can stay in lane for as long as he wants, and just keep throwing things. Now, there might be some jungle attention coming in through, but, like, once again, like, Zed is just so slippery. He just, shadows out, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And you're kind of like, all right, well, that was kind of a waste of time, but I think they're gonna try to make some focus on getting that cast ahead to be able to melt their like pretty much everyone except the Mordekaiser on their team. So this could be pretty fun. Now on the other side, we have Mordekaiser, who one of my favorite picks in the top lane, to be completely honest with you. Hecarim, who's absolutely boasted in the jungle. Like, let's be real, like, he's so strong for no reason.
Yeah, and the thing I'm also very worried about with Cass is the fact that not only is Zed a champion that has no mana, but Cassiopeia is a very mana-intensive champion, especially in the beginning, so she's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. She has to take tier in the very beginning. I know her build pretty decently, but yeah, Zed can obviously really throttle her in the beginning. It's going to put her in a spot where she's not going to be able to engage him too much. Otherwise, she's going to be getting a little bit beat down in the CS department, which would be even worse. So I'm anticipating a really cautious early game in the beginning, and looking at the squishy bot lane here, I'm thinking that Zed might be going for a couple of roams. That's going to be the game plan here for SDC.
Yeah, especially when they get that Surredded Dare, he can just kind of shove the lane in so fast into Cass. It's definitely a confidence pick, I would say. I even believe that Shredman even plays Zed a lot. I'm gonna even pull it up right now. Where is it? Yeah, Homeboy's top play champion is Zed, so this could be very, very interesting coming in. Like, letting him have his primary pick, or it could be even that, like, Disperse Gaming even knew that, like, that was, like, his primary pick, and they're okay with him playing it because they feel confident enough to stop it. But, I mean, being a mid laner myself, is I never want a Zed one trick on the enemy team because I kind of just keep dying and it's not fun.
Yeah, my most recent game I played this morning was up against a Zed, and I'm used to going up against some really bad Zed players, but I was playing my promos, and so I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go up against some other guys. I don't care if he locks in Zed. Boy, was I mistaken. And I made the extra big mistake of not taking Zhonya's Hourglass first, and so I died quite a few times. But yeah, so Zed, very annoying pick. I'm anticipating him to have some great early game impact. It just depends on if, again, Trundle can have some good impact here as well for himself. Zed's not the only one that can gank on here, so yeah, I think that bot lane could be under quite a little bit of pressure early, but if they can weather that, then should be a good game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And we're once again going back to the Zed, is if it gets to a point where the game goes late enough, he won't really have that kill pressure as hard anymore. Maybe onto the Seraphine still, unless she's gonna build Zhonya's as well. But once those little bitty tank stats starts coming in, like, he won't really have that kill pressure up like he will for the first maybe 25-30 minutes of the game. And they're gonna have to make sure they have a lot of vision to keep an eye on him, because this boy will flank them during objective fights. He will flank because, you know, obviously the AD carry and the support are gonna be in the back, or on this side, whichever side they happen to be on, and he's just going to be just lurking around the side and just ready for them to be there. Now, going to move on to the bot lane with Kai'Sa. This one, I'm having mixed feelings about it. I mean, it's just if Rel misses the engage, naturally, you know, Kai'Sa's not going to really follow up on that. But, like, early, I'm expecting it's definitely to go in the favor of the Silver Seraphine, you know, the range advantage. Like, in terms of, like, who has the better engage, 100% death cards do. So, it's those 5v5s are just gonna come down to, like, just very, like, millisecond decisions. Because all death cards gotta do is just press the go button on Rel and Hecarim, and they instantly can kill everybody if they want to. Now, if Cassiopeia has some good fingers, can stop that instantly with her R. We'll have to just wait and see what happens during game. This is going to be a fun one, I think, though.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of things to consider, especially when we come back from this break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting the game nice and set up for you with a spectator delay, but as soon as the game is nice and ready to go, we'll be right back with some League of Legends actions for you. Don't go anywhere.
To the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang. Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade! Come on, get up, come on.
I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
on this side, and there's a 350 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before he's last. Dies, and Chicken Fried Rice 200 teeth with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. And the call comes back in the circuit, flip finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still
find
performing
Akali.
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact spawn.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the ace, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage. They want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The deathball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in here once again with SDG versus DG, SDC versus DG, and I am joined by DBZ. It's a lot of D's.
A lot of Ds. Wow, I've made that really confusing. It looks like we got a standard 5-point stance coming in from the jungle, well, at least on SDC's side. Other than that, we're just getting some vision down from the Seraphine, and she's backing and going to swap to Sweeper. I'm pretty sure they see him. Yep, there they go. A little bit of chip damage, but not too much. So from what I've seen from jungle starts is Hecarims will start Raptors, then go to their buffs to hit 2 faster. That's what I've been seeing. I don't know if that's what you've been seeing in your games, but it makes sense to me. Oh, and never mind, he's going blue buff. Okay, retract that whole point. Never mind, it don't even matter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most expert at Hecarim's clearing choices, but yeah, he is definitely one that decides to clear a little bit towards the bot side and then go for a gank pretty dang quickly after he gets his chickens, I do believe, pretty quickly after that. And so, yeah, Cassiopeia, though, I do notice that she's already gotten some good stacks on her tier, so that's going to be helping her get her item pretty quickly.
Yeah, I agree. And there's that annoying poke damage I'm expecting to see from Zed quite a lot. Like, and he went Longsword 3, which is pretty standard for Zed. I mean, I've also seen Longsword refillables, and you say that way you don't have to buy pots the entirety of the game. But with 3 pots, you know, it's extra healing from the poke damage she's going to end up doing. So for the time being, it'll be a little weird. You know, they'll just go ahead and just farm it out for the time being. I'm actually going to toggle my camera back to the mid lane while everyone else and see just who... Okay, so she hits 2 first. And that's pretty much it. So nothing too exciting. So Zed's backing off and respecting the damage output coming in for Cass, you know, with her having the range advantage.
She does have a pretty good level 1 as well. It is, again, very mana intensive, but it does do a lot of damage. Ooh, nice little root coming out here from Jordan, hitting it up onto the rail, but it's just going to be a nice little bit of damage gain for them as well as the push. Haven't quite hit level 2 yet, so they have to respect this.
Yeah, they should hit level 2 right now. There we go, okay. So they hit level 2, back on little even footing. But once again, that range advantage coming in for the Seraphine and Sivir is just the lane's going to be kind of annoying. And Trundle's ganking.
Trundle going for a gank already. Mordekaiser having to expend the flash very early on. Trundle getting a little bit of a hit upside the head, but in comes the Hecarim trying to give him a little bit of assistance as the passive procs. Massive damage being done. It's looking like Heki might be dying here as well. Trying to chase down Trundle with the superior speed and actually going in for seconds onto the Aatrox. He's going to have to dash away, but still great damage being done. Zed not quite coming here either. Taking him away from the turret. Might be able to do a little bit of damage, but he realizes he's gotten a little bit too far away.
Okay, for a moment there it looked a little spicy, and oh goodness, that first strike on the Zed, that's pretty crazy. So that was kind of fun. Mordekaiser bringing the flash, I think a little early. I mean, maybe didn't feel confident enough to go for that cheeky little big wall flash that only certain players can hit, and I am not one of them, that's for sure. So the flash is burned on both the Trundle and I almost said the Hecarim, but he burned Ghost. So Trundle and the Mordekaiser actually is who burned flash there, and it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. I think Aatrox got the first blood, which is pretty huge, and now we have no sums here for the Mordekaiser. Overall, though, I mean, it looked like it was going to go for a second with Zed roaming up, but I guess they called off the play because, you know, Mordekaiser made it back to Mordekaiser. The other one, Aatrox, made it back to his lane. And Hecarim is feeling pretty good about getting that kill. 100, 1k, not 1k, 100, well, actually, the gold is now even. I was going to say just only sub 100. Oh, video games. Your math.
Yeah. Ooh, looks like trying to go for a little bit of deep warding here is going to be Mordekaiser, but nothing not too crazy. I don't think he actually got one down just yet. But Aatrox might be getting a little bit jebaited here. He sees a level 3 Mordekaiser and he's like, oh, I want this. I'm going in, but Hecarim, he's back for seconds. Missing the... Oh, not missing the grab. He actually hits it just barely tipping it. Being dragged back in, expending the summers at the very least, and he might be dying, but no, the grab's not going to be up for Mordekaiser just yet. Cooldown's a little bit too much, and so Aatrox will get away with this flash.
That's actually so unlucky. I mean, Aatrox also doesn't have the teleport, so either he stays here and maybe gets dove, or he backs and loses a ton of XP. But it looks like Hecarim is gonna go back to his topside jungle. So good for Aatrox, you know. And here we have a fat wave in the bot lane here that looks like Kai'Sa should be able to get most of this. But once again, there's that range advantage coming in that you know, we're gonna keep spelling about pretty much the entirety of this laning phase. So. Unlucky for them for now, but man, it's gonna be so rough. But it should get better as the game goes on and more of these fights come in. And Trundle kind of getting towards the bot side to pick up this scuttle, I imagine.
And the dragon too, probably. Dragon fight probably coming up pretty soon. They know that Hecarim's gonna be backing after a little bit of a fight early on here, so they're probably betting on that. Maybe trying to get something going here. They do also have some great vision advantage down there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Everything kind of just calms down for a moment, it looks like, and we got a trades happening here on the top side. And what is Aatrox? You good? Okay. I
mean, he does have some good sustain, so it's okay for him to stay.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's one of the things that bothers me a lot about Aatrox is his sustain is ridiculous. It's a lot of healing, and like it's so hard to cut through it. Just interesting. Oh, I just noticed the Doran's ring by on the Mordekaiser. Never seen that before.
I also noticed the Zed. They're looking to go for a little bit of a drag play. I was thinking that maybe they're going to try and go for a dive because Zed does have 6, but not quite just yet. They're going to opt to go for the dragon instead.
Okay, good for them, It's honestly a smart call just to go for the dragon here. Cassiopeia was looking. She's just going to shove in the lane, probably get a quick little reset here. Or she's going to go up on this flashless Mordekaiser. She is roaming her way up there. Or not. Man, these players keep baiting me thinking they're going to go somewhere and then don't.
Yeah, just going for a little bit of control ward placements. They're thinking that they're going to be, with that, I'm assuming that they're going to be going for the Rift Herald because their opponent's got Dragon. You can't be letting your opponents get both.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So good call for her to drop that ward there in the river. Bot lane resets. We have the new cover coming in for the Sivir, and Zed is getting cheeky now. Okay,
yeah,
maybe not.
He's just being the annoying poking Zed, just doing a little bit of chip damage, and if you don't respect his damage, you get too weak, then he will ult you and then instantly get away. He's also got some ignite, so yeah, not gonna be living out of that situation if she finds herself in a cast.
Oh, definitely, and I just feel for like the entire bot lane of D. Oh wow, the electrocute. I feel like so there's a little more damage, and Homeboy probably goes for the LT on that with the ignite. They are just spam pinging the top side of the jungle, so they should know that, like, maybe he's up there. They don't have any vision except on that one ward in the river. and I just toggled my own vision and just, oh my goodness, like the amount of vision that SDC have is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, look at how lit up the bot side of the river is with those 3 control wards.
Yeah,
Must be
that's
nice.
a lot of control. They've got some solid control over the bottom side there.
Oh, Zed just ulted.
Oh, yep, she does get a little bit of a... Oh, man, yeah, she's definitely going to be dying here. Zed's going to be trying to chase her down. Hecarim coming in for the kill now as well, but Zed is going to be getting it despite the ult. Is going to be getting the Razor Shuriken off just in time to end it.
Oh man, that was I've got to admit, I'm surprised she didn't flash there. I mean, I maybe didn't expect the Shuriken to kind of be up or go that far. It looked to me like it was on the very edge of the range for that, and so unlucky that she died to that. So, Zed getting a nice little kill. He burned everything except the flash, but you know, you take those as a Zed player. Anything to get faster towards, I don't know if he's going to go Duskblade or Eclipse. And I think I would assume Duskblade. I mean, that's what I see in my games, but these are Diamond players, so I don't fully expect it. And this dude's just going to walk up and smite this.
Oh, just walking right up, but is he going to be able to get it? They're zoning him off pretty good to go into flash for it, actually. That's a good use of a flash, my personal opinion. Aatrox coming in with the World Ender, trying to give him a little bit of support, or at least get the trade-out kills. And yes, he will be able to get at least one. I would say Hecarim just going in probably to die, but actually doing quite sizable amount of damage, and they should be able to get away from this, actually. So it's just going to be a 1 for Rift trade.
Okay, I mean, the Shadow should be up here in seconds, that should get out, so that's pretty free. But wow, the Chad played a flash smite the Rift Herald. Like, that was... I love those kind of plays, and Seraphi's gonna die here.
Oh, and he does have ult as well. Going with the Encore does at least hit the rail, but it's not going to be as impactful as they wanted to. Big hit coming in from the Mordekaiser, and Zed getting fed once again, trying to come in here for a little bit of lifesteal. Does get at least 1 out of this, but that's going to be all he does get. And so, but in the meantime, Trundle, he does know that the support is out of position, so might be going for a Rift Herald drop.
Yeah, I would definitely do that play as well, but just kind of greedy coming in for DG to stay there as long as they did. I mean, they got out, there was no reason to stay, but it's just kind of weird calls coming in. So they extend, they don't really have much of a gold lead actually now that I'm looking at it. It's just a 700 gold lead, especially the Rift Herald mitigating a lot of this, but this might be first tower 10 minutes into the game. It is first tower, okay. Well done.
Here's the gold lead, right on back.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Come on, Mordekaiser.
This is going to be a cheeky fight. Yeah, Mordekaiser just trying to get on out of there with expending his W for the extra armor, but yeah, it's going to be just about it.
Okay, so going back to that top lane fight, it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade. You know, Zed's finally getting fed. He finishes the Youmu's, which actually I was not... Oh no, Cass is in a bad recall spot.
I mean, I totally get it. He wants to be able to run people down, go for quick ganks. It's definitely something that I do see, not usually a first item, but it's something that is definitely picked on him.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised, and he's popping it right now. What are you doing there, dude? Okay.
I don't know.
I guess it was a zoning Youmu's. That's what that was. So
yeah, zoning with the Youmu's.
Back here in the bot lane, where Cassiopeia is going to roam down, take this farm. The bot laners are going to swap up to the mid lane. I mean, there's no tower here now, so they just instantly. Ooh, I think he hits that. I think he goes for it. To be completely honest with you, it was cheeky.
Yeah, Dragon is coming up soon, though, so he definitely has the benefit of having that on his side. They've got total control with the control wards, as well as bot lane prio, and probably mid lane prio, too, is because, as you can see, the ADC and the support are going for that. So this should be a good Dragon take for them.
I agree, and like Trundle's not even going to respond to it, so this is definitely a free Cloud Drake coming in for the side of SDC. Not really too surprised, to be completely honest. I mean, they're at a point where they really can't fight right now with Zed being as strong as he is, and he can just absolutely delete Sivir or Seraphine at this point. And that's just a free pickup. So the Dragon stacking continues, and in 10 minutes, they could potentially have a Hex Soul, which is not something you want this other team to have, especially on a Zed. Oh boy, I don't like Hex Soul on Zed at all. It just makes it really unfun to play into, and I feel like that's all I'm going to complain about this game, is just how fed the Zed is, because it gives me PTSD from my own games.
Absolutely, dude. I totally get it. Recent for me as well. Again, I told you, the last game I played against the Zed, it was not very fun. But, looking to try and zone Cassiopeia off, trying to mitigate how much CS she can be getting here, and so she's just going to be taking a little bit of a back off this, probably going to be swapping back with the bot lane from what it looks like here. But, yeah,
Yeah, she should be getting close to that. Not Yoma's. The Leandry's here in a second, and Aatrox is going for a fight here on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be one that he does have a lot of teammates to help him with. Trying to get under tower. Mordekaiser does still have the W to pop up. He does need it, as well as
Boy, here comes Rel.
as well as the Realm of Death. Might be coming in here for a little help here, Rel, but yeah, Mordekaiser nice and safe. They're going to respect it. They're going to back off.
Okay, so Crown of the Shattered Queen came in for Cassiopeia to mitigate some of that damage that the Zed's going to do to her, which is actually going to be very important for some of the fights that happen later in this game. They're going to look to pop that and maybe try to pop her even as well. But not a bad buy. I think to take away, some of that damage that that's going to be outputting. And I really want to know what his second item is going to be here. I'm curious if it's either going to be the Eclipse or the Dustblade. I assume the Dustblade, and we're getting a fight here in the jungle.
It's just a little bit of a fight here over the red buff, and it appears that Hecarim's not going to quite be able to steal that one away from the Sivir, which is, yeah, pretty good for the Sivir. It's going to help her in some of these extended fights that are definitely coming up.
Okay, well done. And looking at... Oh, no, here they go.
Oh, coming a little bit sooner than we thought, and they go. Encore completely missing for the Seraphine, but it doesn't matter. Turret shots coming in nice. Seraphine will be dying. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but how much better would it have been if she hadn't completely whiffed the Encore?
Yeah, I think you get maybe 2 there. It's just really unlucky with the direction that went. It was definitely a heat-of-the-moment button press, and we've all experienced those before. But 1-for-1, I mean, Sivir gets a kill, which puts her even further ahead of the Kai'Sa, and there's the crown that gets popped like I thought. That's what they're going to be aiming for. So toggle over to the gold. Sivir is 1,400 gold ahead of Kai'Sa, which I like that. It's really good, with that first tower gold, even adding to that kill. So putting her firmly ahead of this Kai'Sa will help her accelerate, because we have that meme from season 6 of the 300 CS Sivir power spike, and in a game like this, that's kind of what they're going for, and they definitely have to scale in order for Sivir to be obnoxious. That second item should be a Phantom Dancer coming in soon, but it'll be some time. She'll just keep farming up and going everywhere. But in terms of what's going on the state of the map right now, we have the second Rift Herald that Hecarim is currently starting, and they are going to collapse onto this real quick. This is going to be a fight.
We're seeing another smite steal from the Trundle. Maybe he's going to be smiting Hecarim instead, and pulling him right back on in for round number 2. Get over here, says good old Aatrox, but just zoning him right on off. Do not want to be in position. Ooh, it's actually going to be resetting here, so there's a little bit of an opportunity for them to go back in for this deal if they really do want it, but again, too far away, too divided. The positioning for the side of DG is a little bit better for the team fight than it is for SDG, so they're going to let this Rift Herald go again.
Yeah, I mean, Zed also was not there. He doesn't have the teleport, he has the Unite instead, so he can't get there quick, but I mean, he gets the tower trade in the end. They have a gold lead, which is actually kind of surprising, because DG was up about 1,000 gold earlier, but now they're down 1,000. So I guess Zed being really fed and just kind of helping. And he is up 40 CS, so that makes sense. But I completely thought that DG kind of was in a really good position, but I was very wrong. They're down almost 1,000. They're gonna be down 1,500 gold here in a little bit.
Yeah, although that is a little bit important, but they do have a lot more tower control. They've got bot lane and mid tower gone, so if they can clear up some of this vision, they should be able to stop these dragons from going into the enemy team's side. But so far, they have yet to be able to do it, and that's something that they really got to address, especially since Hecarim and the guys might be able to find Cassiopeia, getting the solid fleet back in, but a great flash coming out from her, zoning him off with the miasma, and in goes Trundle trying to give a little bit of support here. Kai'Sa coming in now as well, trying to target the Cassiopeia, does get a solid hit onto her, but Hecarim looking to die Encore this time. There you go, and that's what happens, too, for the price of free.
All right, and that should be the dragon, too, that's up in 8 seconds, unless they're going to shut down on the Zed.
He's got the Yomu, so he can easily escape, though, so I don't think they're going to be quite going in for him, so this should be an easy dragon for them, though.
Oh, they had the Herald, so they're definitely going to want this mid tower first, and then they're going to go get the dragon. Okay, not bad call. I like it. This is easy tower take right here. Boom-bitty boom-boom, done. And they'll just rotate down for that dragon. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? But Hecarim is going to be up for this. Do they do this dragon fast enough to avoid a steal happening?
Yeah, I think that the answer is no, but they're really going to try it. They've got Mordekaiser coming in with the Unleashed Teleport, and yep, in they go. They're not going to be able to get here in time, I don't believe, at least not to counter smite this guy, so yeah, they will be getting it, but they might be able to win this ensuing team fight. surrounding them and trying to pound them. Zed just in the middle of everyone
Oh
going
my
for the
goodness.
assassination on Seraphine. He's doing a great job, but they're not peeling him at all. And so Seraphine will die. This could be everybody for the side of SDC dying at once.
Oh my god! Did you see that Rel stun? It stunned all 5 of them and be able from moving. Actually, it might have been 4 because Sivir was in the realm of death. But goodness gracious, that was disgusting coming in for that Rel. Oh, that was so good. They get the dragon, but at what cost? It's a 5-for-0 play at the end of that. And I honestly think after you take out the jungler, and I already forget whoever else they took out, just rotate for the dragon, get the dragon, and then they could have summoned the herald and took the tower there. But, oh my goodness, the gold league just ballooned after that play, and now it's 4K coming in for SDC. That was nuts.
Yeah, it is pretty nuts. I mean, at least I can't say it's even worth it for them to get that dragon, as you said, but I mean, as long as they can still... I do notice a lot of strong bounties are starting to amount on the side. We've got 400 gold for Mordekaiser death, 400 gold for a Zed death, and those are things that could happen, especially if Zed is caught solo here. He has already bursted his Yomu's blade, which is another good thing for protecting the bounty, but... yeah, I don't think Aatrox's going to be trying to fight too hard with this guy, considering he doesn't have the most amount of armor right now.
No. And okay, so it's the Eclipse coming in for the Zed. I was curious which would be the second item, and I'm cool with the Eclipse, especially for that little added shield with you proc all the abilities properly. And they are aware he's kind of just trolling around right now, and Zed's going to take this... not Zed. Aatrox is going to take this fight.
Yeah, Zed not taking the fight. Again, this has just been some great control game for the enemy team. They've got they've got so many great wards over not just the mid jungle, but their opponent's jungle as well. And, they're going for some bounty hunting right now. They see Zed and Kaisa up here saying, yes, give me that juicy money. And so that's why they're going up here, but it doesn't look like they're going to actually be able to catch him again. Yomu's Deathblade. It's really good.
Yeah. Very well done. That's like something I've been meaning to say for the past few minutes. Very well done by the Zed, maintaining that control in the mid lane, and it just keeping that lead to secure and helping the team where it's needed. Because even though he's 4-0, he has those 4 assists which helped his team. Then I think all of those are from that last fight, but. It goes to show that he's there to help the team when it's necessary, and they're gonna roam here to the top side, take this other tower, and just keep that gold lead, and just keep ballooning it as far as they can. Now you have Baron up. It's 20 minutes. Do they decide to try to even look for it right now? My guess is no. I mean, maybe get a little more damage on Kaisa, which I'm surprised that. Yes, you're not catching the Zed. Don't even try, lads.
Yeah,
okay.
Both arms going out Naruto style, you're not going to be able to catch them. You run extra fast like that, fun fact, but yeah, either way, Zed getting on out of there. A lot of the turrets, that was the main worry I was having for the side of SDC early on, is the fact that they lost a lot of turrets early, but they're pretty much right back even with their opponents. They've got 1 less in the top lane, but their opponents have 1 less in the bot lane. Ooh, Zed trying to go in for a little bit of a fight with Aatrox, procking the Eclipse, but yeah, Aatrox knows better than to go in for that.
All right, then. I thought it was going to be a cheeky one-shot play, but then I remembered it is an Aatrox, and he does not get one-shot that easily. So,
absolutely,
nothing really much comes of that. So moving on here, we're rapidly approaching, what's the game plan here for DG? It's okay, we got that dragon, but we got wiped. We have objective bounties on the field. We need to get some of these objective bounties and get these 2 bounties off the Aatrox, or not the Aatrox, the Mordekaiser and the Zed. Those will be huge funnels of gold, and you want both of those to go where they can, either Cassiopeia or Sivir. I would say maybe even Aatrox, so he can get that Black Cleaver faster. And you just try, we need to stop them also from getting this next dragon, because obviously, 3rd Drake, Soul Point, and pretty much you have to fight them at every turn from there and on out. So they're going to try to take some of this mid control back, or I guess try to take mid control back. Not really able to do that with just how threatening just SDC is right now, and it's kind of crazy, and they're going to set up for a fight here.
Indeed they are, coming in, trying to get a little bit of an ult off here, Sivir, but yeah, just nothing crazy just yet. A little bit of a poke heavy comp here with the Sivir and the Seraphine. They're going to be looking, as well as the Cassiopeia, so they're going to try and
Zed's in the
do a little bit of damage before this. Zed coming on the flank as well. Ghostblade popped, and in they go. Will he be able to get there in time? Answer is obviously yes. He's got Ghostblade coming around the back, trying to get the better of the Cassiopeia, but I mean, Aatrox, he's just going to get singled out. They don't even need the Zed to win this fight. And now, looking to get caught.
Oh, no.
Oh, and in they go. Encore coming out, but it is going to be all for nothing. Basically, a little bit of damage being done to Hecarim, but yeah, it's not going to be, that lifesteal is not going to be enough for Trundle in order to survive that.
That was a lot of damage Sivir was pumping out, but it's just not enough. One more item, and I think that fight would have been completely different. But they get a 5-for-1 there at the end of it, and it's just a free Baron, and once they're done with Baron, they'll just turn for the soul. And at that point, it's like, well, alright, we're boned, but it's just they have the better team fight. We said it earlier, like in the draft. It's just SDC has the better team fight, and it's showing in this game. It's so unlucky for DG, though. Or they're not going to even try to go for the dragon yet. Lads? Are we not going to go for the soul point?
I think that, yeah. They think that, I think the idea was that Zed was sitting on Cyrilda, so it went back to buy that, which slows people down and gives you some armor pen onto the Aatrox, as well as the good old...
okay. Now they're going to go get it, okay.
Yeah. That's the idea. I know he's sitting, he's waiting, and he is ready to one-shot the Aatrox. Can he do it? Limit test coming in. Oh. Basically, I'll count that. But now it's going to be another 5-man death likely here again. Seraphine getting nobody there for the peel for her. And Trundle melts like an ice cube in hot water. And just like that, it's another 5-man death for the side of DG. That's pure pain.
Yeah, death timers aren't maybe long enough. No, they don't have really much of a wave. So death timers aren't long enough to end the game here. But they will break open the base, which is huge. So soul point, Hex soul point. 5-man ace once again, and it's just once again that superior team fighting that's just coming in, and it's just how do you fight that? You really can. It's like you just have to poke them out at this point. But it's oh my god, Zed is 9-0. Kaisa has a 700 gold bounty. We're even being 4-7. It's just that champion is really good.
Yeah, I think that the game plan going forward is that in the next game you ban Zed, because that's the only thing that you can really hope for is in the remainder of the series is that you don't let that happen again. The Cassiopeia pick up to him, it was, in my opinion, a pretty risky pick because of the nature of Zed. It's and didn't really work out for them clearly. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing them losing an inhib already, and it's looking like it could very well be death time once again. No. For everybody. Gonna try and come in for the encore, but goes right through the encore, shrugging it off, saying, I am not gonna be getting stunned right up here. Mordekaiser is gonna finally get shut down, but I don't know how worth that's going to be.
For the moment, not big. I mean, it was a big shutdown. It was an 850 gold shutdown. Zed is hunting for the Sivir. She is pretty much dead unless Okay, never mind. I'm gonna hold that thought. I was gonna hold that thought, but never mind. We're good. So, you're probably right. It wasn't that worth it. Accelerates Sivir's gold, and she should be able to finish that IE right now. I assume. Yeah. Okay. She got the Infinity Edge, so her damage output will definitely be a force to reckon with. And the meme. 25 minutes in the game. Here we are. She finally hit her 3 items. So, yeah. I'm expecting these fights to maybe be a little closer, and no one's really paid the QSS tax too on the Mordekaiser ulti, but they're just gonna brute force this down, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is still a fight that I don't think necessarily favors the side of DG. In the meantime, Zed going for a little bit of a one-shot once again onto the Aatrox, and there he goes again. Man can even assassinate Aatrox, you know it's bad. But,
he's just
all the while, it's going to be Mordekaiser trying to go in for the Trundle once again, getting a solid slow, and in goes the Hecarim, just getting all of them with the CC. Oh my god, this is looking over, my friend.
Yeah, the game is over. This will be SDC taking game 1. Ban the Zed! Don't even... Ban the Zed! That's all I really have to say. So this will be the definitive end of the game here, just with superior team fighting, just Rel, Hecarim, so gross together. That was disgusting, and probably honestly the coolest combo I've seen in quite a while in this game. But 27-7, and they're gonna BM for this last kill, aren't they? Oh god.
Yeah, I think that Zed's just trying to get an ult on them in the spawn just to limit test even more before the game ends. But yeah, 27-minute game, 27 kills. It's a game where 27 is the magic number, but Yeah, it's going to be a victory at the end of the day for SDC. Early game comp got fed and ended up with a win. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's the men's Zed one trick. I mean, I would assume that you know that. Just ban the Zed. I mean, he could probably do the same thing on Akali because they banned Akali too. So just ban the Zed next game. There's really no real analysis we can make for that. Just ban the Zed. Don't do it again. Don't leave it open. Mm-mm.
Although, maybe there are some other things that Lilia could help us here with figuring out what would be a good game plan for them in the next game.
Mm-hmm.
Are we back with Lilia, by the way, or are we not right now?
All right. Welcome
Hi,
back.
everybody. I'm just trying to center myself. Am I centered in this camera? So that was a really crazy game. Just wanted to compliment on Zed, as we've been talking about. First of all, when I first started playing League, Zed was my nightmare.
Yep.
He was like, I hated him. You know, you start off as AD carry, and then you have Zed being picked every game, and he is, yeah, he's a nightmare. And then if someone's really good at Zed, it's just like he can snowball the whole game. So
Also, yeah.
yeah, and then sorry, and then the Rel and the Hecarim. No, to mention in TFT, they're Cavalier spat like put together, so they're just gonna naturally probably be great in the game. Yeah. Anyways.
It was gross. Like, just the combination, just the Hecarim and the Rel was just disgusting. Hecarim would ult in, be all 5 of them in fear. Rel would stack the stun on top of it, and then maybe ult on top of that, and then you just can't move.
Nope, you can't.
Oh my god! Like we even talked about it in draft that like their team fighting was just absolutely superior, and wow. It was a draft diff. That's the best way I can say it. It was 100% a draft diff. It was crazy.
So the Rakan maybe over the Seraphine to match the Rel. What do you think? Because you guys had mentioned you really want the Rakan pick, but if it was to match the Rel and maybe even the Hecarim.
I think it. Where is it? Where's my support? There it is. Yeah. Meeps and chill with the Rakan games. Yeah, I probably would have preferred something like because even a Thresh would have been good here to knock the Rel out, and it's just something to just stop her from being able to do what she does.
Like a Nautilus, even.
Yeah, you gotta also think about this too in the way is like I think the Seraphine was first. Yeah, the Seraphine was first picked. So I think you save that, especially as the flex pick as it is, and like wait for the rest of their draft to come out to see like what their game plan might be, and then maybe flex the Seraphine somewhere else. That's what it done. Pick a different support. But I also once again I'm gonna get closer to my mic here. Ban the Zed, please ban the Zed.
Yeah, please get rid of the Zed. No more Zed. Maybe even Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser did get buffed, right? Just want to check. Kyle, you got the stats.
I don't believe that he got buffed recently. I know that like it's been a couple of patches since he's gotten buffed, but he's definitely been a little bit more meta, I guess.
Yeah, I just I think I had heard about this buff like way before, but I never got a chance to actually talk about it. When he goes into an alt state, it like makes it I believe it's maybe a little longer, and then he can go a little faster movement speed.
And I might have missed that.
So he has like the ability, like his ult already for squishies, like example Seraphine or a Silver in that case. That would have been a little too much. But anyways, before we leave, any last words before we go to break?
Ban the Zed.
Kyle? Ban the Zed? Okay.
Ban the Zed.
Hashtag ban Zed, please. Everybody. Or play a champ for Zed that has more movement speed and can actually maybe deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're going to send a break. Stay tuned, everyone, and we'll be back. Thanks, everybody.
Back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade! Come on, get up,
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3v2 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before he's last. Dies, and Chicken Fried Rice 200 team with Swift Depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal up. And they call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage to Treble back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still
find
performing
Akali
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out simply, tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the lead, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back, and we can already see a couple of changes being made in this draft. We've got a Zed ban for one here, DBZ.
Praise! Why do we have a set ban following that? I mean, that's something with. And the instant Maokai ban because Maokai's open. I'm walking away. That's it. That's the game. That's it. It's over. They got the Maokai.
Yeah,
Alright.
They just gotta make sure that, like, you know, they can get something else to go along with it, but there are a lot of things that can go along with Maokai, so it just depends on what DG can pick here as well. The Sivir being picked once again. The Sivir herself did not do that bad in the game. But yeah, I think just took a little bit too long to getting good, so yeah, okay. Misfortune hitting her spike a lot earlier, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty good. I like that. And the Belveth coming in for DG as well. That's a really strong pick. Especially right now, the way the game is. I don't think she's been nerfed too much recently, but she's still absurd in the jungle and just accelerating her like throughout the games. Woo-wee! So, what will the response be from SDC? Are they going to leave Maokai as a solo laner or put him against the Belveth? Which I think that might go poorly early. Belveth's just better. They're sticking with the Kaisa. Akali. They're going with Akali instead for Shredman 3. Which, as I said, you know, Akali Zed is what he plays, so this should be a very spicy mid lane coming in once again. Now, my response into the Akali, personally, what I would play is I would play either Ahri or even as far as Echo. I really like Echo. Sometimes Aurelia. I do LeBlanc too. But those are just some of my responses.
Or you can set up the meeting in them.
Yeah, there are a couple of things you can do up against the Akali. It's not a perfect pick by any means, but instead they're going to go for a Tom Kench to go along with Misfortune. I think that's a great pick. And I think the reason for the Belveth pick here as well is because they did consistently get the Rift Heralds. So I think they're going to lean on that and try and get Belveth a little bit fed off of that with their stacks.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, so Tom Cash coming in here also as the final pick. We got the Mordekaiser ban this time, which I highly agree with. I mean, Mordekaiser was pretty obnoxious later in the game, just peeling out the Seraphine every single fight and just murking her the way he does. Now, what are the responses from the other bans? We got Orin, which I guess is fair. Rel, okay, so they pretty much banned half the team from the last game as expected. Right. I mean, just they were all so good. And like, I really, really well done. Just adaptation coming in, but will it help? I mean, I know we're egoing Shredman a little bit coming in. Just my man's is
That's a great pick.
It's just I love Akali, like I love Akali, and then Vex the response. Yep, I like it. We're in this now. And that's pretty good. I like it. I mean, the fear to be able to ward people off, and you know it can help stop some ganks. You still have a couple of options on SDC for an answer, you know, especially coming for they don't have their support pick or their top lane / jungle pick, because we don't know exactly where Maokai is going just as of yet. And Mundo going in the top lane. Okay, really beefy boy. Mundo go where he pleases. I had a friend who did Mundo jungle once, and it was something. It was something.
It definitely is. But yeah, I like the Vex pick a lot. I played her quite a lot, and she's a perfect counter for Akali. Akali being a champion that dashes around a lot, that's pretty much all her character does is just move around. You're proccing your passive literally all the time. She'll always have her passive on her, and if you hit her with a Q, that's like a lot of her health bar gone. And you can also get some solid fears off her. It stacks her fear ability. It gets her charges up on her passive for that as well. So Vex is a proper counter to Akali here, and I think that's a good decision from DG's part. Amumu coming in here in the support role for Kai'Sa, that's a good pick there as well. Amumu has been very strong recently as well, Yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, once again we have that obnoxious team fighting prowess coming in from SDC, and the Gnar is the answer into the Mundo. So I like that pick actually. Gnar, I almost said Mar. Gnar is a really good pick. It's just right now he's just one of the best top laners in the game at the moment, you know, alongside Aatrox and Ornn. But range advantage means he put the Mundo in the dirt for a little bit until Mundo kind of starts building those tank stats. Now, this top lane will probably run like very differently than in the last game. I expect Mundo to kind of take the L for a little bit. Once again, kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's just English. It's just. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah. We'll just have to see how it's executed between the two players. I expect it to be a pretty losing lane, for the time being, for the Mundo. But once some of those tank stats starts coming in, I mean, they can also just abuse him by sending the Maokai up there a few times and just kind of yeeting them in there and so on and so forth. But me personally, I like both drafts. I think they're very good. We finally have some really good team fighting potential coming in with the Gnar and the Vex coming in, you know, with both of their respective ultimates coming in. But just the other side of SDC is they have the most broken champion in the game right now, and in the Maokai. You love to see it.
Just looking at the side of SDC, I do like their ability to CC their opponents a little bit better. Like, you've got Maokai with his ult, you've got Amumu with his bandage toss and his Curse of the Sad Mummy as well. And I'm looking at the side of DG. You've only really got some slows from Tom Kench, some knockups from Belveth, but nothing like super duper hard aside from the fear from Vex. So yeah, I like SDC's comp a little bit better in terms of its CC, but I like DG's a little bit better from its raw damage output and ability to counter Akali's perspective.
So I can see some very, very interesting things happen. You have the Gnar ult to combo with the Misfortune ultimate. That's a lot of damage within itself there. You have Vex, if she gets far enough ahead, can just fly in and just blow up the Kai'Sa, or even maybe the Akali. I'd probably not. I expect some MR to come in to kind of cut that fear time a little bit. So
now that
it's going to be something. But like half of this draft also is kind of the same as Fanatics was against Cloud9's a couple days ago, and the DG's comp is going to really depend on the early game. If they can get a sizable enough lead, then keep that lead. They'll be fine, because it's like you said, there's just not enough damage really on SDC, but they can also take out the game for the long con and just for whatever reason do what those champions do. Because for some reason why Maokai can do a lot of damage with no items. I think I've seen a couple of Maokai's build demonic and demonic embrace, and it's like, why? But I leave it to those players. They know what they're doing. I don't. That's why I only peak gold 2, so I trust them to do whatever.
Right, yeah. And now that I'm looking at this as well, there are quite a few people who have dashes on the side of SDC as well, so that's more people that Vex could get some fear stacks off of as well. So yeah, this is some good things for both sides, and we are going to be getting in with the pregame setup, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere. We will be right on back.
To the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade. Come on, get up.
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 350 on the other side, but I can't clutch to it, and I can't clutch to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him, and they comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage to retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a team fight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still performing extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out simply, tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact spawn.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the lead, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage. They want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The Deathball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline. Good Death trying to stall time for his 80 carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series, it seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts, because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Premade. Come on, get up.
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Big
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again with SDC versus DG. Currently, if you missed the first game, SDC is currently up 1-0, and I am joined by DBZ.
Hello, once again, everybody. So, here we are once again. Mundo is going to walk into the jungle and get some vision. Or is he throwing axes? Yeah, it looked like he was throwing some axes.
Annoying.
Yeah, alright. The classic Mundo things. And, doesn't look like we have anything cheeky happening here for the level 1. I mean, not like either team really has a there's decent level 1s, but not anything like hardcore, like being able to secure burst blood. But, so yeah, the Belveth. I expect her to kind of power clear this jungle. Maokai's gonna trap behind a little bit, and it's gonna be fun. This jungle matchup is very interesting. I don't think I've seen Belveth versus Maokai very often, especially because Mundo is just gonna walk at the Gnar. Okay.
Yeah,
But
he's just trying
anyways,
to do some early game damage to get some prio in the lane, more or less.
yeah, that's fair. So Belveth here is gonna not get a leash and hopefully just ram her way through this jungle, get everything through as quickly as possible. Maokai gonna abuse these saplings. Not the poor little alien saplings. Is this Disco Maokai? I love our Space Groove, rather. I guess you're not allowed to say Disco, are you? Oh, it is. Nice. I actually like the Space Groove skin line. It was really cool.
Ooh,
And
Mundo.
once again, Mundo's waiting in the bush.
Yeah, nothing going to be happening, though, so it's just going to be net neutral. But it looks like the first push is going to be favorable towards Misfortune and Tom Kench, so that's good. Level 2 already being gained by Vex in the meantime, so first push is looking pretty good for this side of SDC.
Yeah. Coming in here, and we got a little bit of ooh, here we go. Okay, nice. Okay, Akali's finally going to tick over to 2, and they're going to really engage onto this and burn the flash off the Kaisa. That's actually huge coming in for DG there. Okay, this is different than last game. I don't think they burned the flash last time when they hit level 2, but this is huge. Kaisa not having that flash is going to very impede her for how aggressive they're going to want to be in this lane. So good for them for that. Not respecting the level 2 once again. Poof. So, now they finally took over to 2. Belveth is going to do a full clear of her jungle, same with Maokai. So jungle presence probably not going to be very, very heavy for this little early portion of the game. Ooh, good double up on that one. And they're just going to poke and prod away, I guess, for at these 2 here. Ooh.
Yeah, they're just going to try and deliver the wave, get it back for some early items, maybe? Nah, they're actually going to be trying to use their turn to maybe get some intel inside their opponent's jungle. Don't quite know.
We like to hear that. We love to see it. A little bit of advantage here, you know, not too much in the CS. Akali actually up CS now that I'm looking at it. Okay, that's very interesting. Akali gonna go for some poke damage here on the Vex. I almost called her Velbeth, funny enough, huh? But it's a Vex. That's who that champion is. I guess because I'm pretty hyped about this Belveth. In my games, in the solo queue games, and Mundo is just gonna walk at Gnar. Okay, so I lied. Remember what I said in draft that Mundo would have a hard time in this lane? Well, I lied to you. Gnar is the one having a hard time in this lane. So,
I mean, all he's got to do is hit some cleavers, and ooh, Vex coming in with the fear onto Akali. Shredman trying to just desperately escape, but Mundo actually trying to come in here and help as well as Maokai. Mundo on the case now as well, and it's just a fight on all lanes, a fight on all fronts. Ignite coming in now on both sides. I do believe that Tom Kench is going to be able to get cleanly away. Both teams get cleanly away in all fights, so despite all the all-ins from everybody on every end of the map, it is going to be still without a kill in this game.
wow, that was pretty nuts. You got summoners burned everywhere here in the bot lane. You got the ignite from the Tom Kench. You have both sums out of the Amumu. And whew, Kaisa not having that flash is probably the reason why she couldn't secure the kill onto the TK. I mean, at the same time, also probably didn't want to give a kill over to the MF in response. So no first blood happening. Wow. I'm actually surprised. That was kind of nuts coming in from both sides. Good for them.
Yeah, that's pretty true. And Gnar, it's a good thing he's got a Doran shield, otherwise he would be at big risk of getting poked out of this lane very early by this Mundo. He's been doing a pretty good job of hitting the infected bone saws, I think is what they're called. But yeah, just hitting those pretty effectively can do a lot of damage. There's another one onto him. So yeah, it seems like that's going to be the diff in the top so far. It's just the ability to hit the skill shots for Mundo and not the same for Gnar.
Yeah, Nardown being 60s, it's kind of unfortunate, but once he starts getting those long swords and some of those things into his kit, items, wow, go me. Some of the items into his kit, I expect either he is against the Mundo, so maybe he goes under here, but I assume the Triforce build is what I've been seeing a lot on Gnar. So it could be really, honestly, either one. It'll be Sunfire or Frostfire for the Mundo. Like, for now, it's okay, but once Mundo starts getting those tank items, it'll be a lot harder for the Gnar to be able to do anything effectively. And the first dragon is not being started. Never mind. I was baited because I saw them walking over.
Yeah,
I've just been baited all day today.
Yeah, they're not going to be wanting to do that without the Bel'Veth so that she can get her stack. And they're just going to be putting in a little bit of wards around in the jungle as well as in their opponent's jungle so that they can see if anyone's going to try and go for the steal, yeah.
They might try and... I think... Oh, they're going to dive this, actually. Poor Gnar. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try and hop on out, but Maokai hops in right on back. Flash being expended, and he's actually going to survive this one. That's huge from the Gnar.
Wow, good for him. And he survives that dive. It's just... It got to the point where the tower got too heated up.
Mumu in a little bit of trouble here now, too. Looking to start the dragon is going to be DG, so they're just going to try and get some overall control, forcing the Mumu right on back. Nothing he can do, just being a little sad mummy up against Tahm Kench and Bel'Veth at the same time. So this should be a dragon well and truly in the hands of DG. Kaisa a little bit alone as well. Cully not able to give any support either, so yeah, looking pretty good for Bel'Veth to start stacking up these stacks.
All right, you love to see it. Now we got some level 6s coming in for both sides.
Does he dare? He does dare! He goes in for the steal! That's huge! He probably will lose his life orb, but he's going to try and take Bel'Veth down with him, and he will not, unfortunately for him, but first blood for a dragon steal. That is huge. Yeah, Kali come in here now as well. Good hit come in here from the Vex. Dashes are going to be meaning that she is extra vulnerable to her. The ult coming in, perfect execution down onto the Tahm Kench, and Vex is not safe either. Bandage toss going swimmingly away, so it will just end at that.
I was about to say when he died that was not worth, but then the Akali comes in with the perfect execution, gets 2 free kills, and just like that, Akali is in the races for, you know, becoming that extremely threatening assassin that they need her to be. Wow, that caught us both off guard. He just walks in and steals the dragon. That was insane.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was seeing it coming, and I'm like, oh no, I really hope this doesn't happen because, yeah, he could have definitely flashed it there, I do believe, Bel'Veth, but no, I actually don't think she... I think she did. I think she just missed it a little bit, but either way, that's just very, very sad. They literally saw it coming as well. He was standing on a ward, so they should have been able to preempt it, but that's even more good for the Maokai. Being seen, still being able to execute it properly.
Oh, good chip damage coming onto the Akali here, but she's just going to brush it off. So I thought Akali was going to go for the MR boots here to kind of mitigate some of the little bit of CC that they have with the fear, but I will take the pen boots any day on Akali. I play a lot of that champion, and I would probably honestly do the same thing. So the Rocket Belt is definitely the move here for Akali, getting most of the components for that ready to go. And the ult is going to be up, and she's going to look to fight here very shortly. I don't know about you, but as I'm an Akali player, and whenever my ult's up, I'm looking for a fight. Will Shredman do the same thing? And I also respect the Electrocute rune as well, because I think that's far superior than Conqueror is. I just don't like Akali with Conqueror at all. Just it's better with that poke damage and being able to get in. And Gnar looking to do a little bit of poking, it seems. Okay, not too much happening up there. Especially because he has the level disadvantage. You just don't really do anything to Mundo right now. This is... Miss the cannon, son.
Yeah, and the skill shot missed is a little bit difficult as well. Mundo going to be able to get the heal off for himself, just going and activating Ghost. He's going Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. Bel'Veth trying to come in for a little bit of help here as well into the Mundo, but he's still got Ghost active and Maokai coming in as well. Gnar is so toast right now, my friend. It is not even funny, and he's just getting kited around here. Poor Bel'Veth is just going to get kited to death here. Not even going to be able to kill Mundo in time to get the potential save off of eating his stack, but yeah, she's so dead here. So that's going to be a 2-for-0 trade in the top lane.
Okay, that was just terribly unlucky. I mean, you're not getting through that Mundo when he has his ultimate popped. So very unlucky. And Maokai was already on his way by the time that play was happening. just unlucky 2 for nothing trade that happens there at the end. So double kill for the Maokai. Gets be that little bit of a beefy boy that we know him as right now. I mean, he was always a beefy boy, but beefy tree, I guess, is the more accurate statement for that. And they'll get the Rift Herald in response and probably continue to chip down this top tower and just summon it up there. Or I could be completely wrong and they'll go bot lane with it and get first tower off of it. But the play definitely for the next 4 minutes after taking it is, where is the Rift Herald gonna go? Kind of just depends. I mean, if you were, let's say you're Maokai right now, where would you drop the Herald at this moment? If
Bot
you have
lane
the
100%.
option?
Bot lane
Okay.
100%. Because not only do you want to be feeding your ADC some gold because their items cost more than Akali's, but also because like Akali's gotten 2 kills up to this point, a lot of CS, and Kai'Sa has currently 0, so the plate gold could definitely offset that a little bit.
Okay. I agree. I kind of agree with you on that one. I would also argue maybe top lane is a good lane descent, so you can just swap the Mundo to the bot lane and swap your bot lane, so on and so forth, classic swaps. And he's just being viscerally annoying to this. Oh, he goes for the Athamas Chains first item. That's actually good. And we have a fight here in the bot lane with Akali with ultimate.
Yep, Tom Kench gonna try and get out of there, but gets bandage tossed just in time. MF bullet time coming on in, and Bel'Veth trying to be having a little bit of game impact here, zoning him up, but Bel'Veth looking to die. Tom Kench coming in with the Devourer trying to save him.
Oh my god.
Trapping them all, and it is going to be death in the bot lane once again for DG.
And they're gonna summon the Herald here and get first tower in the bot lane, I would assume, but my god, a 4-for-1 fight there. Woo-wee, that was... I didn't even know Mumu was holding his ultimate for that entirety of the fight. It's just, I just thought it was kind of doomed for the way it looked like it was going to turn around. But Mumu with the ultimate pop traps all 4 of them in there, and they just get annihilated. And Akali picks up 2 more kills, one to the Kai'Sa and one to the Maokai. Just this gold is going exactly where it needs to go, and it's so unfortunate for DG right now. And greeting for first tower here.
Kai'Sa. Definitely greeting it up in here, and so yeah, she will be able to break vision, but the ward coming down will stop the vision break, so she will be dying, and I think handing over not quite a shutdown just yet. Kali going to be getting a little bit tagged up here as well, so mid lane prio is going to be there, but Dragon's still being done by the side of SDC, so that's not going to be helping much at all. They're going to try and maybe going for some kills, but up against a fed Maokai and a Mumu, Kali could easily come and help them, so unlikely.
Yeah, and just 4,000 goldie coming in, then they have all the tools needed for Akali and Kai'Sa to kind of get obnoxious. That first tower gold. Oh, what are we doing here in the? Okay, never mind. Nothing really happened there. We're good. We're good. Just relax, team. Just relax.
I think that they feel that the game is escaping them, so they feel the need to try and force a kill going on here, but it's just not going to happen.
No, I mean, you're not gonna you might get through the Maokai right now, but other than that, like, you're never gonna kill the Akali. She's just gonna be too slippery. Just, her escapability is probably the most ridiculous escapability in the game. Probably second to Talon, you can just hop over the walls, but you're not gonna see Talon too often. But anyways, yeah, gold going everywhere it needs to. It's sad because I said the early game needed to go in DG's favor, and it has not gone in DG's favor at all. Just Bel'Veth being too far behind. She just finished the Bork a little bit ago. It's just so sad. You hate to see it, to be completely honest.
Yeah, the thing is, as well as that, Bel'Veth should be a scaling champ and be better as the game goes on, but the fact that they haven't gotten a single jungle objective yet, because one, their opponents know that they're going to be going for those, and 2, Bel'Veth has just been unable to really do much in these fights either, so yeah, dying very early, so it's been pretty much hard for her to be effective in the game and stack up the way she needs to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 100% with you there. But turret plates are not falling off. Objective bounties are going to pop up here for DG. And I will unfortunately say they're probably going to be up for the remainder of the game. Just if they keep snowballing this the way SDC is, yeah, I don't really see much hope. And we got 2 people headed into the topside jungle, and they're going to see Vex go to the tower and probably going to dive her, let's be real. I mean, they don't have a lot of damage, but I'm pretty confident that they could do it. But Kai'Sa's caught here.
They might trade the Kai'Sa out for this. Kai'Sa going to be unable to get away from the bullet time, but yeah, it looks like pretty dead here, as well as going to be the Gnar getting just stunned. Can't even do anything in this fight. I mean, sorry, good hold Vex is going to be getting stunned up in this fight, but flashing on out. That's interesting. Gonna try and stun him out. Vex, she's not gonna be able to get her shield up in time. So yeah, Belveth's gonna go in crazily for this trade. TB coming in here as well. Nar gonna try and help her out. She really needs a stack, and there is at least one for her. Gonna be able to catch them out in the jungle here as well. Maybe this is where the game turns on its head. Gonna try and have a little bit of help here as well, Akali, but Maokai not gonna be able to ult up here. He's in some serious danger.
Oh my god.
Of SDC, and so they will be able to get pretty much everybody out of the situation for the price of the Vex and Belveth as well. So I'd still say pretty worth.
Yeah, and a couple of... Oh, she might get another kill here. Oh, the red buff burn. Oh my goodness, that was so close. They're going to keep chasing for this, though, and Kai'Sa's on the way.
Go for the cutoff. She misses, though, and they know that she's coming. So Kai'Sa might now be in a little bit of trouble here. Getting slowed by the Tahm Kench, but MF isn't anywhere near enough. So that's going to be the end of the killing for now, at least.
Okay, a couple of the kills traded and a much-needed shutdown going over to the side of DG. And I like that it went to the... Okay, they're still chasing the Mundo. All right.
Still chasing him.
There's no way he gets out, right?
No, absolutely not. Unless Nar just sits there and takes those infected cleavers, absolutely not. But oh no, Mumu coming in here is going to be not quite saving him. Mega Nar coming up, and we'll be able to get out of there. So, I mean, it was worth a shot for the Amumu, and he does get the flash out of them, so still worth it. Better than what I thought.
Yeah, so really... I will say it was a long extended fight, more or less, because, you know, they had to chase down the Mundo for, like, a straight minute to try to get him. But shutdown's going over. That was what I was just getting ready to say. And we got a little banter in all chat with the Mundo saying I had fun at least. So you love to see it. He's having fun. He's having a great time. I'm going to go ahead and we'll try to finish the second item here as quick as he can. But back to what I was saying. Shutdown, going over to Misfortune. Absolutely much necessary, so that way she can get those items to be able to start like doing that much needed damage that they need in fights, and they're caught here.
Oh, she's 100% caught once again. Kai'Sa not even giving her a chance, neither is Akali, and gonna have to flash on out of that. Everyone is here and on task, maybe ready to do a fight with the ult's all on cooldown for the side of bringing him in quite far with that W and dashing away, drags him in the turret. Gonna try and get one on the Maokai, going in with the Devour. Nice stuff coming out there, and Tahm Kench going in for even more. Be popping the shield, but ends up dying, and that is going to be a little bit of a rough one there for Tahm Kench.
Yeah, I think that's probably an extra kill he didn't need to give away, but we have the Infernal Drake up right now. Maokai's not up, but they don't have their 80 carry at the moment, so you maybe try to cut off this mid wave and just like try to go to the dragon if you can, but Akali's just sitting in the flank just waiting for them to walk up.
Yeah, and then she goes this time. They've seen her. She's going to try and jetpack her way in, but it's not going to quite work. So, yeah, it's going to be a nothing at the end of the day. Everyone back on up once again, and I think it's about time Maokai takes his
horse is getting caught on the other side.
Dragon.
Oh, okay. She's out. I thought for a moment there that she was going to be done so. Now, okay. I like what DD's trying to do, taking some fights that, because they know, like, if they let this game get too far out of control, it's over. Yeah, they also have this Infernal Soul point to kind of go for, but they might trade. Oh, I thought it's only 18 minutes. I was like, they're trading Baron, but now it's only 18 minutes, so they will get the Rift Herald, but, like, you're letting
not
SDC
actually. They're just sending
be on
Akali to try and get the assassination on Belveth. Gonna have to keep her off. It's a good thing that Vex is here, otherwise she would be totally toast. Hitting Vex instead, but still going in. Objective bounty being claimed. Is going to be able to get one and maybe able to follow it up. Nice little knock-up onto the Akali, but MF with the exhaust is not going to be able to do too much damage. Just trying to tank it up for his team is going to be Tahm Kench, but unable to keep them off of Misfortune for long. Trying to activate the ult to get on out of there, but the bandage stops it, and she will be falling. Good stuff coming out from Tahm Kench to at least get a kill out of that.
6,000 gold lead now for SDC. Oh man, the Tahm Kench Abyssal Blaze was so close. It was so close. So now they're on Infernal Soul point here. And in 5 minutes, you know, it's just you have to fight for that in order to not get this soul. It's a huge soul for them to have too. And Akali casually being 8-0, you know, just because she can. She just keeps ripping through like all of their like pretty much everyone, to be completely honest with you. Just, I don't know, just Akali. You know, and we were hyping this dude up once again, Shredman, once again, just like last game. He was doing this exact same thing on the Zed in game 1. So, like, what do you do to stop this man? Like, if you're the rest of the league, what are you looking to do to stop this man from doing what he's doing?
I don't know. I would normally say pick someone who is good up against assassins like Vex, but managed to avoid the Vex pretty well. Pretty much none of his kills have come onto Vex instead of just been able to roam pretty effectively and do great stuff in these team fights. Pretty much all the kills that Akali has gotten is from the team fights, so that's, I don't know, just watch Akali a little bit more in the team fights, I guess, man.
Yeah, I think you also kind of think about like you don't want to focus also too many bans on him as well, and we have the trees coming in again. All right, it doesn't do anything though, so it zones them off, but the tower also doesn't fall, which is a big deal. It keeps them from being able to get some pressure mid lane, and Amumu has probably caught out the entire team here. Oh nope, never mind.
Pinging for a fight, and in goes everybody, literally everyone at once. They do manage to single out the Amumu, and out goes Kai'Sa. They will be able to get at least one kill off of that and a stack for Bel'Veth, which is good. I noticed that she's finally starting to get some stacks up there. She's gotten herself up to like, what is it, like almost 2 attack speed now, which is really good. That's where you want to be getting, at least by this point in the game. So she's starting to recover. She just really needs to get herself to where she can get her mythic.
Kali coming in also in the flank. She is about to
here she goes again. Ult coming in, but Bel'Veth taking an absurd amount of damage. And Akali coming in, mega flank coming in from Akali, hitting the Tom Kench with that shuriken. And so that's going to force them to fall back just a little bit here. Coming in once again, going in for the perfect execution. Nowhere near is going to be Vex in order to stop Akali from doing this. Maokai going in for the root, but is going to end up dying. Tom Kench with a shield will be able to save himself, but incoming is going to be the Kai'Sa's ult, which is Killer Instinct. Trying to get a little bit of a trade out of this, but I don't think that's going to be quite happening. Yes, into the Akali again, and absolutely frying the MF. That's going to be a clear wipe for them once again.
Oh my goodness. They're just not far enough ahead to where they can take these fights like this. Kai'Sa and Akali are way too far ahead, and like they don't have enough damage to cut through the front line. Even it's shocking that the Maokai has died as many times as he has, but they keep picking him off, which is good. So it's like they have the really good pick potential, but when it comes to team fights, it's just SDC is just better in terms of the team fight. Same thing. What did we say in game 1? What did we say in game 1?
Is that you need to not feed the assassin mid laner, right?
Oh, that too. Well, that's also the thing. And Kali gonna.
Oh, she's got her. She's got her. No. Finally gonna be getting a shutdown on her. That is huge. She should be able to finish her mythic with that as well as with the gold from the blue buff. So yeah, that's like over 1,000 gold that Bel'Veth got out of that kill. That is maybe something that can get her back in the game.
All right, and I said that was Akali, and I was wrong. That was Kai'Sa. But woo-wee, that was a must-need shutdown. And onto the Bel'Veth, yeah, that item, getting her first item. I actually just realized she doesn't have her mythic yet. She's the only one that doesn't. Yep. So trying to justify the logic in my head about not having mythic first, I guess. But I will just accept it and assume that maybe there's some tech that I don't know. But with that 1,000 gold.
She wants the lifesteal here. She wants the lifesteal here from Blade of the Ruined King, and it also gives her attack damage and attack speed, which Bel'Veth is majorly off of attack speed. And so, yeah, that's why for Bel'Veth she gets that.
Gotcha. So we got the dragons. Oh, they may have caught up Maokai again.
Yeah, I don't know, but they might have been killing Maokai a lot, but I think that's at the expense of them killing Akali and Kai'Sa, so all his deaths have been 100% worth it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Now you got Mundo splitting in the top lane. He's kind of just doing whatever he wants up there in the top lane. Like, someone has to go answer him, but, like, you have also lose a member, and the Nature's Grasp is going to come out for this fight. Oh, but it whips. That's
actually gets Vex. I lied. It actually gets Vex stunned up there for Akali, and so in they go once again, landing a little bit of something for Kai'Sa in order for her to ult on in. But MF going to be zoning them off with the bullet time as well, trying to get this Maokai down and dead. Just going to be slowing him on down. Is going to be the Tom Kench. But, yeah, not a lot of ults left up here for either teams. Mundo coming on in here. Akali going to be getting a little bit hit up. Should be able to keep her off of them. Vex, but not quite as much as I thought. Meganar coming in, trying to use that lifesteal, but it's not going to be enough. Once again, MF without an ult is going to be very, very hard-pressed to stop this Mundo from just running her down. Oh, my God.
And a triple kill goes over to the Kai'Sa, and the Infernal Soul also goes over to SDC. Zooey mama. I mean, what can you do? They're going to probably have Maokai do the dragon. Yep, is that what's happening? Do they rotate, do the Baron in the process with Amumu tanking? Oh no. Okay, so it looks like they're just gonna reset here, but I expect them to break open the base here and probably try to get the Baron in the process. Or I am wrong and I pretend I know things. Yep, I'm wrong and I pretend I know things. They don't even break open the base, so I'm wrong on 2 accounts.
Yeah, the wave.
SDC, what are you doing?
I mean, the wave just wasn't quite there for Mundo, unfortunately. It was just a little bit of a case of bad timing for them, but yeah, they have great prio there in order to get the soul, and that's benefit enough, as well as the 11k gold lead. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah. It's just all these fights look like they're gonna go decently in DG's favor up until the actual team fight starts, and it's just a wipe from there. Now to this, what are DG planning on doing? I know they have to get some vision control here in the Baron, but they're gonna walk right into the Moo. It looks like nope. They should have seen him though, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is that a lot of these Maokai ults have not been quite hitting, and there's a case in point once again, but they still aren't managing to hit their serious damage dealers. And they go again, flank hitting well and truly. That's the ADC down, not able to protect the ADCs at all. Is going to be DG. They're totally dead, my friend. Top Catch is going to get surrounded once again, just chased, run down by the Mundo. There's nothing the Vex can do about it. Nar going to try and come in, have a little bit of a say in this situation, but just offering himself up as an offering as well to the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Not going to be stopping for the turret by any means, and Vex just going to be following suit as well. That is going to be yet another full team ace.
And I'm probably also going to be the end of the game. If not at least the end of the game, then at least an inhibitor coming in. That timers aren't that long, so yeah, probably not the end of the game. But good God, just they're just so far ahead, and like they're just smacking them with their wallet at this point, and it's just so unfortunate coming in for DG, and that just that is sad. I expect the game probably in here in the next couple of minutes. Yeah.
Now, finally, an ult hitting from Maokai, but it doesn't matter. There was not a lot of people to be hitting, so yeah, it's just basically desperating for kills at this point, and Tom Kench is a sole survivor here. Nara is going to be up trying to stop them from ending the game, and they totally should try to end it right now. They're going to try and hit the Maokai, but they're, again, focusing on the wrong person this entire game. Kaisa's just been allowed to shoot them for free, my friend, and there she goes again. She's so fed now that when they are focusing her, she's not going to be able to get killed now. So this is GG. Great laning. Well, not great laning. Great coverage from the tanks. It really enabled Akali and Kaisa to go off and win this game like they did.
Oh, yeah. Very well played to let the carries kind of just take over the game, and GG to SDC. I mean, they played that exceptionally well from start to finish. Like, we talked about it once again. Like, they had these GG had to like get control of the early game in order for that game to like be favorable in their way. And look at I just see the damage numbers right now, and Kaisa did 31,000 damage.
Yep.
Definitely taking that 80 carry. Oh my God, the 80 carry role, and just wow.
Well, the carry power of the role to the extreme, right?
Yeah, just definitely. We win. There's a chat, just some of the teammates just bantering. We win despite Shredman 3's best efforts. Hey man, that dude played out of his mind both games, and I honestly, even if I had to pick like who the player of the series was, I would probably pick Zeranos, honestly, as coming in the 80 carry position, because a lot of the kills, like I will be fair. I will only say Shredman does not get the MVP because he was playing Assassins, and that's not fair. That's cheating. Of course you're going to get all the kills. That's why I'm going to give it to Zeranos instead on the Kaisa of both games. So we love those, and I would give it to you, my good sir.
You know, isn't Kaisa kind of like an assassin in her own way?
Yeah, but I had to give it to someone. I like Kaisa more than I do.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to give it to that. What about you, Kamaka?
I don't know. It's hard to say because like you got to look at the damage and how they were able to do such a good amount of it, but I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to the tanks for doing their job and keeping them off of Kaisa and Akali, because Kaisa's good at doing damage, but only when she's not getting CC'd. I don't think I really saw too many attacks landing on her because they were so dang focused on the Maokai and the Mundo and the Amumu. They were just doing their jobs as tanks, and in my opinion, that's something that could have been done a little bit better from DG, is trying to get a little bit further past. And so I gotta I'm gonna go a little bit different and give some love to Maokai as man of the match, man.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the tanks did so well, and I'd say like tanks I can't emphasize enough are a huge part of the gameplay, you know. If you don't have at least one or two tanks on the team going into the team fight.
You kind of just lose.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
let's not
yeah,
forget
for
also
sure.
that when that one of the only deaths for Kaisa was when she was 1v1 with Belveth after she had gotten fed like that. So again, you gotta give it to the tanks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know if you're watching Twitch chat right now, but the entire team they're kind of flaming each other. I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
it's literally their own version of an all chat after a game, like a draft game or something.
I love it.
I'm reading it. Yeah.
But
Oh, so entertaining.
yeah, but
Anyways, that was you know, I love underdogs. I've always been one to cheer for underdogs, but you know, congrats to SDC. They did really well, and DG, you know, good try. I wish you luck for next time.
Yep, same as well.
It was an exciting game. Other than that, like
it
I
was an
had a
exciting,
lot of fun.
but it
I
was
mean,
just
there was no shortage of kills. We'll say that at least.
yeah, it was a
No
team
shortage of
gap
kills.
coming in. I'm gonna be completely like honest here. Is I had faith in DG for sure, but just after game one, I was just like, yeah, no, it's gapped. It's very gapped.
You know, like at least they did what you asked the first game though. They banned Zed in the second game.
Yeah, they
Agree.
been said, but then they left a Kali open, and when the second they picked it, I was like, oh no, we're about to have a repeat.
Oh, that's the other nightmare.
Yeah, and honestly, I thought it wasn't gonna be that way because just like they had the Vex, which is like completely shuts down Akali from going in and ulting her whenever she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Like if she tries to go in for an ult, she pretty much has her shield up all the time, and as soon as she gets close, boop, ult's gone and you're stunned. So yeah, that's I was totally expecting Vex to be able to survive Akali, and that's exactly what happened. But just when we got into these team fights, Akali found such great flanking angles and was able to always pick off the ADCs. And again, it's a tank diff. They weren't able to defend the ADCs from Akali, so tank diff. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, I definitely believe everything you say here, Kamaka. I believe in the tanks and the Zed and the Kale. Super strong games. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Thank you, Kamaka. Thank you, DBZ. Any last words before we end today?
Not one. I'm good.
I
You good?
do, and it's Cloud9 has to win every single game from here on out in Worlds, and I am sad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta give you more tears again. I gave you napkins last time, and now I gotta give you the napkins again. I'm wiping your tears for you. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please tune in for next week. Is it dominate for week 6, right? Week 6 coming up.
Right.
No?
And everybody, thank you for watching today. It was so great to the teams. Good job. They're still flaming each other in the group chat. I'm kind of reading it, but yeah. Anyways, we're gonna cool down and we will see you next week, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, Kyle, aka Kamaka, and thank you, DBZ. And also thank you to Syndro for hosting and producing today. Very well done.
You can read all the chat you want. It ain't happening, lads.
Yeah. You know, we're both winners. We're all winners in our hearts. Is Risen hiring mods? Oh. I was trying to read a comment. Yeah, everybody's fine. Anyways, closing it out.
Yep. We're transitioning.